Hi everybody, and welcome to Garden Style. So I thought it would be a really good idea to cover the benefits of gardening and how it can affect your health. Very important. I've had a lot of people ask me why I enjoy gardening so much, and probably the primary reason I enjoy it as much as I do is due to the stress relief that I feel when I get out in the garden. And that's just one of a list of benefits that I want to go over with you guys today. So after reading an article the other day on the benefits of gardening, it kind of gave me the idea to come up with this video. Because I don't think people are aware of all the benefits and actually the research that has gone into the benefits of gardening. As we know, gardening goes way back to the beginning of time, due to the fact that people gardened in the past just to stay alive. This is how they grew their food, as well as hunting it. But they were outside, and I don't think they were aware of all the benefits that were available to them by being out in the yard. But I am going to start with the physical benefits to start off with. And we all know that there is definitely a physical benefit to gardening. It gets you out in the fresh air, you're getting out into the sun. But the biggest thing is the physical aspects. It is so good for your flexibility, your endurance, your sense of balance, as well as your strength. It also helps build bone density, believe it or not. So those of you who are 50 and above who are suffering any kind of bone loss, get out in the garden because it helps to stave those types of things off. Research has also proved that any type of mental aspects related to gardening are also very helpful. So you can stave off Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, depression, anxiety. All those lists up above are so good for you just by getting out in the garden. So how could that possibly be? Well, gardening is one of the few things, or the few activities, that can actually heighten all 5 of your senses, your physical aspects as well as your mental aspects. And let's face it, when it comes to the physical aspects, obviously getting out there and getting a workout every day, it also helps to heighten your 5 senses. Just by sitting in the garden and enjoying the view, you have already enhanced your eyesight. It's the eye candy that you're looking at in the garden. Watching the birds, experiencing Mother Nature, watching a waterfall, a stream, just watering in the garden, for example, are all part of the visual benefits that come from gardening. And let's talk about the taste. Any type of vegetables, herbs that you're growing out in the garden taste so good when they come out. Why is that? Because they're fresh, they're organic, it's been in the garden and it came out and you're probably eating it 10 minutes later. If you're looking at raw vegetables, anything that you pull in from the garden, strawberries, tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, the list is endless. Let alone the herbs you can grow in the garden. And we all know this day and age that there are a lot of medicinal qualities to the herbs that you can grow in the garden. And I certainly hope to create a video on that as well as we get closer to that time and closer to that point in the year where we're actually harvesting herbs. And I will certainly go over some of the medicinal qualities that you can benefit from your garden. So there's the taste, let alone what you're hearing just by sitting in the garden and listening. And you can hear the birds chirping and the bees buzzing, and there goes a birdie right now. Just all the different sounds, a hummingbird flying up to a flower, all those things, whether you know it or not, are enhancing your senses as well as your mental abilities, and it helps to soothe you, it helps to relax you, which leads me right on into what some of the mental benefits are, which I'll touch on here in just a second. Then let's talk about the touch, what you're touching. With or without gloves in the garden, everything you touch, whether it be soft, coarse, the soil, the plants, the wheelbarrow that you're hauling across the yard, all those senses are getting enhanced, which is in turn getting everything going upstairs. All your mental circuitry starts going off, and in a good way, so that it is soothing to you. There's a lot to it. Gardening to me is a form of meditation. It really is. After a busy hustle-bustle day where I have been on my phone, staring at a computer screen, dealing with people, driving in traffic, trying to get my list of errands done, by the time I get home, the anxiety level is through the roof. Both my anxiety, my stress, whatever you want to call it, you're uptight, right? Nothing I love better than to drop everything, put on my grubby clothes, grab my crappy sneakers, get out into the yard, grab a hose, and start watering. And 5-10 minutes into this activity, my stress level has dropped, probably by 80%. And why is that? We are working out the right side of our brain. Everything that has to do with soothing yourself. It helps to stimulate other things in our bodies that aren't getting stimulated during the day when we're just so uptight and busy focusing on other things. We can let that left side of the brain relax and let the right side of the brain take over, and it's so good for you. It is so good for you now. Even from 20 years ago, our world has changed so much, and everything is so fast and so quick and coming at you just hard that you need to take that time. And if you haven't, you may find how beneficial gardening can be just by being able to come home, drop what you're doing, whip out into the yard, either start watering, pulling weeds, planting new plants, just taking a walk in the garden. You don't even have to do anything physical, and you will find that your mental stress and anxiety will drop immensely. That is why some of these other diseases that have to do with the brain, like depression, anxiety, Alzheimer's, you can stave off a lot of those issues just by spending a few minutes. I say 15 to a half an hour, 15 minutes to a half an hour out in the yard, and you will find that all those stress levels start to drop. Not to mention, if you're out there getting the physical activity, you are going to sleep so much better at night. You're breathing in the fresh air, you're getting the sunlight, you're getting the physical activity, and you're letting your brain slow down. And that is something that is so hard for us to do these days with the electronic world that we live in, this information that's constantly coming at us. There is a point during the day, and in the evenings is one of the best times of the day to drop what you're doing, slow down. We have these lovely long days going on now during the month of June. Perfect time to get out in the yard and slow down. Let your brain rest. Enjoy the atmosphere. Enjoy Mother Nature. And any of you who live in an apartment or a condominium and you don't have a yard that you can get out into, there's community gardens as well within your neighborhood. Get involved in a community garden. Volunteer yourself. It's fantastic for the social aspects, which is something I hadn't even touched on or even thought about while I was making this video. I have met more of my neighbors by being out in my garden, watering, planting. When I first moved into this house 2 or 3 years ago, I didn't know anybody, but I met several of my neighbors within the first week just by being out in the yard, piddling around. They stop, they say hello, they introduce themselves. They're very curious to know what it is I'm doing. And now, when I'm out in the yard, some of those same neighbors will stop, say hello, compliment me on the progress that they're seeing out here in the yard, which leads to lots of other conversation, and it's fabulous. It's a great way to get to know your neighbors, get to know your community, so lots of social benefits as well when it comes to gardening. And those of you in an apartment in a condo that can't get out into the community garden, then by all means put a container or two out on your balcony. Grow houseplants. You can still receive those same benefits by just breaking away from your normal everyday routine and getting into something that lets the left side rest so that the right side can take over and help you to relax. Another neat benefit that I just read about the other day is the special bacteria in the soil. You know that special smell that you smell when it rains and it's been dry for a while, and it just that lovely like earthy type smell? There is actually a special bacteria in the soil that lets off a whole bunch of spores when the rain comes down and starts to activate it when it's been sitting dormant for a little while. That same bacteria, when you're working in the soil every day and planting in it, just being around it, also has a special effect on your immune system, which I did not know. It actually helps to increase your immune system. So hallelujah, another benefit I didn't know about. And honestly, a lot of gardeners that you talk to that do gardening on a daily basis, you will find that they have not had a cold or the flu in years. And I happen to be one of those people. So that was another benefit I did not know about until just a few days ago, when I knew I wanted to do this video and I just wanted to get up on all the latest benefits for gardening. And that's a huge benefit. So I hadn't even thought about that. So yeah. If you're a gardener already and it's something you love, by all means keep doing it, because you're going to be very healthy because of it. And those of you who are just starting to get into it, I thought this might be helpful for you guys as well. And if you have friends, neighbors, anyone who is suffering from any type of anxiety, mental stress, depression, encourage them to get out in the yard, at least for a half an hour. And I can guarantee you in 5 days they're going to start to sleep better and they're going to start to feel better. This also improves your clarity during the day. So if you have been having trouble concentrating when you're at work, get out into nature. Get out in the garden. Get busy. Your yard can be your meditation. It can be your sanctuary. And it can go a long, long way to living a long, happy, healthy life. Not only by eating better, but you'll be feeling better, and physically you'll be in a lot better shape, because it lowers your blood pressure, increases your endurance, your flexibility, your strength, and your sense of balance. What other physical activity could you possibly do that gives you all those benefits? And you get to step back and enjoy the rewards. Beats the heck out of a treadmill staring at a wall for a while. That's all I can say. All right, you guys. I hear a plane going over, so I hope it doesn't get too loud. One of the other non-benefits of trying to do a video while you're sitting outside. A lot of air traffic today. It's beautiful. It's going to be 80 degrees today. I'm currently sitting in the shade just before I get out to the garden. In fact, we have a mow lawn today. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have picked up on a few benefits that you can benefit from by getting out in the garden. No other physical activity I can think of that you can benefit from so much. Alright, it is the month of June. It's official. I have this huge list of videos that I'm going to be throwing your direction for the month of June. There was so much to do, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. And if you have, by all means hit subscribe so that you can continue to get updates from Garden Style. By all means, go to my website. You can go to gardenstylenw.com or send me an email to gardenstylenwest@gmail.com. I would love to hear your comments. I've gotten quite a few comments already. I appreciate those of you who have already subscribed. It has really inspired me to keep going with this. And I hope you are currently enjoying the benefits of gardening and knowing that, no, it's not just for old people. Not anymore. I think we can all enjoy the benefits. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. I will be talking to you really, really soon in some more videos coming up. Meanwhile, get out there, get your hands dirty. It's good for you, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now.